So we had this like small workshop today on the political economy of reconstruction and reconciliation in the Middle East, where we were like trying to examine the three cases of Iraq, Syria, and Libya. And the main approach, of course, is that reconstruction is something that is likely to be shaped by the dynamics and the results of the civil conflict itself. So it's a continuation of it, it's rather than like a complete rupture with it. Link them together as part of the same like context. After all, like the civil wars there have all simultaneously happened as like in the aftermath of the Arab revolutions, and many of them, if not all, have been subject to the same international and regional conflicts, like regional rivalries or international competition, oil prices and oil dynamics, like the exact position that the Middle East and North Africa have occupied in the global division of labor. So we're trying to take a look at this, like develop a new approach to this.
So the main features of the reconstruction in Syria is about consolidating the power of the regime, its influence throughout Syrian society. This is going to happen through different ways, especially punishing former opposition-held areas, benefiting, private companies and personalities linked to the regime, to enable them to accumulate huge amount of money and capital through these real estate developments, to change the socio-economic status of these areas, always in the perspective of consolidating the power of the regime.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, what you need in Iraq is leadership. A visionary leadership which has political will, both in Baghdad but also in Kurdistan region in Erbil, to fight corruption at top. So by diversifying the economy away from oil, but by also being more transparent and accountable about contracts, about oil revenues, and how is that spent both in Baghdad and in Kurdistan. Iraq has been at a crossroads in the past, 2010, but unfortunately, due to authoritarian policies of the government, sectarian policies of the government, we all know that it led to, the fight against Al-Qaeda was won, but then ISIS was born. The need to engage local communities in places liberated from ISIS, so that the funds will go to the right people, and also that the local communities would have a say in implementation of reconstruction projects. So what is needed is that a bottom-up approach whereby government supports and channels funds, but also international organizations, communities should go as low as possible.
First of all, is the important role that we should look at of the international oil companies, because they're a principal actor in countries that depending almost 99% on its revenue on oil and gas. So oil companies are almost the only economic operators who are operating in a country like Libya now. The concept itself are promoting corporate social responsibility during war is not yet clear or developed, but it's something that we should start looking at and calling companies to get more engaged in the reconstruction period and the developing period. It's a new concept, but it's something that we should be talking about and discussing with civil society, with the oil companies, to see how to reach a kind of agreement to develop this role, because it can be one of the port to stability in a post-conflict, or to even avoid conflict in this aspect.